Hi, this is Dan Cortopassi of TSG Multimedia. Today I'm reviewing an N-scale AC-12 class Southern Pacific 4882 cab forward steam locomotive from Intermountain. This model is equipped with a DCC micro-tsunami sound decoder. With the Southern Pacific lettering on the tender, it would be appropriate for any post-war steam-era Southern Pacific layout. 4294 has also been preserved and currently resides at the California State Railroad Museum in Sacramento. So, if you wanted to stretch things a little bit, you could run it on a modern era layout saying that they'd restored it for excursion service. Intermountain offers this model with DCC and sound like this one for $459.95. They also offer a non-sound DC version for $339.95. The detail and paint on this model really are exquisite. All of the writing is legible, and even the lettering on the builder's plate, which is extremely tiny, is almost legible with magnification. They really did a good job of capturing the look of the real 4294. The front of the model is really nicely done with a lot of freestanding detail, including uncoupling levers, which is something you don't always see in N-scale. Also, the engine has a full cab interior, which is kind of neat. There are also hoses and other small details which really make this model look good. It would look good even if it was an HO scale model. The model is equipped with knuckle couplers on both ends. Both couplers were low according to the microtrain's height gauge. The rear of the tender also includes really nice detail like freestanding grab irons, a ladder, uncoupling lever, and hoses. It also includes a functional backup light, which we'll take a look at a little bit later. The top of the locomotive also includes a lot of freestanding detail like a separately applied whistle. It looks really good. The tender includes really good hatch detail and also has some freestanding railings, which look really good. I really like the air pump detail on the smoke box. It looks really good. One thing I thought was kind of neat is that there's actually some flexible hose couplings right here on both sides that allow the front truck to pivot but still maintain the connection. Some manufacturers might just leave that part out, so that's pretty neat. The locomotive picks up power from both sides on the main driving wheels. The pilot wheels and trailing truck don't pick up any electricity. On the tender, electrical pickup is only from one side of each truck. All of the wheels are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. There are traction tires on the first drivers on each truck. The tender bottom includes some nice detail, including freestanding brake rigging and plumbing. The locomotive and tender are semi-permanently coupled with a drawbar. So since this is the DCC and sound-equipped version of the engine, I'm running it on DCC. It's a pretty smooth runner. I noticed that the chuff sync isn't quite right. It's not quite 4 chuffs per revolution. That's probably something you can adjust with CV programming. The tender and engine together weigh 5.7 ounces. I was able to register 1.5 ounces of pull on my force gauge. So I'll take a look at the lights on the engine. When you activate the headlights with the F0 key, the headlights and number boards come on. One thing I think is really neat, though, is when you put the engine in reverse, the headlight goes out, but the number boards stay on. That's really cool, so they actually are independently controlled. There's also a dimmer function on F7, which unfortunately also dims the number boards. So that's something that probably could be fixed with CV programming, I'm assuming. But still, pretty good that they have the headlight and number boards separate. That's a really nice feature. Another thing I really like is the headlight is really bright, and it's the right color. It's not blue or some weird LED color. The backup light in the tender is also functional and very bright. It comes on when F0 is pressed and the engine is in reverse. Overall, I think this is a really amazing model. It's got great detail and it runs really well, and any fans of the Southern Pacific would probably love to have one. I am going to reluctantly take one spike for the coupler height being wrong, so my final verdict is 9 out of 10 spikes. If you or your company make a product that you'd like us to review, please drop us a line at reviews@tsgmultimedia.com.